You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Tuesday. Happy Mars Day. We have an interesting astrology forecast today. This might be a first. The moon is not making any connections all day, at least Pacific time. So we'll talk about what that means and also what's going on in the background because we do have some major planetary connections happening. Good morning. Thank you for being here. So let's pull up the chart and just dive right in. You'll see right now we have the moon in Aquarius. It has not moved into Pisces yet, but that will happen this afternoon. And then we also have a sextile forming between the sun over here in Pisces and Uranus in Taurus. So that's the major transit we're talking about today. Also, we have this conjunction between Venus and Mars, which has been playing out since about Valentine's Day and will stay with us until Venus and Mars move into Aquarius. That is forming a trine, a 120-degree angle to the North Node in Taurus. So we'll talk about what that means as well. Let's start with that trine between the nodes, or the node and Venus and Mars. So the North Node, if you're not familiar, represents our purpose, the direction we're heading in this lifetime, the lessons we're here to learn, whereas the South Node represents your karmic past, the lessons you came into this lifetime already knowing. So the North Node isn't a planet, it's actually a point in the sky. It's a mathematical point representing the nodes of our moon. This isn't a major transit, but this is kind of setting the backdrop for the energy we're feeling today. Venus and Mars still in that conjunction with one another, bringing this merging between our masculine and feminine energies, supercharging the power of attraction, and that will only be more powerful today when the North Node becomes involved, because we have this urge to merge with Mars and Venus coming into this conjunction. It's like we are attracted to our opposite. We have more attraction or attracting power to bring in either romantic relationships or amplify romance and current relationships or manifest something we're trying to attract. So our urge to merge is actually going to favor whatever direction we're supposed to be heading in this lifetime today. Whatever seeds you plant today are sure to blossom and bring you closer toward your destiny or your purpose. This is a day that's really favoring creation. Venus and Mars coming together is a very creative energy because Venus is that more beautifying, flowing energy. Mars is more active and motivated. So when these two energies come together, we can create something really beautiful. And with both of these planets in Earth signs, or I should say Venus and Mars in an Earth sign in the North Node and Taurus, also an Earth sign, this could make it a very fertile day. Like if you're trying to conceive, I would say go for it today if timing looks right on your end, because the North Node again represents our destiny, our purpose. And if you are meant to have a baby, be a parent, bring life into this world, today would be a really beautiful day to do so. If you're not looking to do that, maybe use some extra protection today. But really, the bottom line is what you create today, even an idea that's planted, a seed that's planted today, will manifest in the physical realm and bring you closer to your purpose, maybe even faster than you think. So that's kind of the backdrop energy that we're dealing with. The other main transit we're talking about is the sun forming a sextile to Uranus. Now that doesn't happen until 9 p.m. tonight. So what does that mean? Well, the sun is currently in Pisces. You can see it on the chart here. And almost halfway through Pisces already, which is crazy that Pisces season is already halfway over, almost already halfway over. But when the sun is in Pisces, it's in the last sign of the zodiac. We're all more aware of healing, of closure, of chapters ending. We're all more sensitive emotionally, and we're also more sensitive to energy, or we have a heightened psychic awareness as well with the sun in Pisces. That's something we're all experiencing with the sun in Pisces. Now, getting support from Uranus in Taurus is bringing an energy of innovation. We could have chance encounters or surprising turns of events today. Uranus is the planet of rebellion, of disruption. So when we get support between the sun and Uranus, it's really inviting us to make a change, make a shift. A sextile, this 60-degree angle we're talking about, wants us to take a little bit of action, put a little effort into it. So this could be a day to deliberately make a change things up, deliberately do something different, lean into maybe a more quirky side of your expression that you haven't let out just yet. Today would be a really great day to do that. This aspect is asking us to do that. In fact, it's asking us to do things differently. It's asking us to let those eccentric parts of our personality out to play. Our intuition is also heightened when the sun and Uranus form this sextile, especially with the sun in the intuitive sign of Pisces. Flashes of insight are possible tonight. Psychic downloads are possible tonight. Again, this is exact around 9 p.m. Pacific time. So the key is remaining open to possibilities, following any urges that are lighting you up. If you have this idea or this ping of inspiration that just feels really good or really right, follow it. See where it takes you. Today isn't a day to necessarily start any new projects or run with that idea, but it is a day to take note of it, maybe write it down, start brainstorming. Sorry, I've got a hair tickling me, you guys. Brainstorm, follow any inspiration today. It could, especially with the other aspect we just talked about, Venus and Mars forming a trine to the North Node, it could lead you towards your purpose. So even those random thoughts that come through that are like, was that just a random thought, or was that a message coming through? That can hold clues to your next great innovation, your next great invention. Uranus is the planet of innovation. Also, if technology is involved, really pay attention to that, because Uranus rules technology as well. And with the sun in Pisces, we're able to dream and imagine and fantasize. The sun is all about consciousness. And so with it in Pisces, we're able to kind of blur the boundaries of our rationality. So be open to dreaming about innovation, about invention today. I would say don't start the project that you're dreaming about until maybe tomorrow under the new moon. That would be a beautiful time to do it, or even later tonight. But today you could have some really profound or breakthrough ideas. Very exciting. So let's talk about what's going on with the moon, because really it's not a whole lot. Again, I think this might be a first since I started doing these live streams that we've had zero connections to the moon all day. So the moon is still in Aquarius. If you see on our chart here, 27 degrees Aquarius. Pay attention to where the cusp of Aquarius and Pisces is in your chart, because that's where the moon is transiting through today. And the beautiful thing about such a calm day when it comes to the moon's aspects is that it's really allowing us to get quiet and to listen. So when we have that sextile between the sun and Uranus and the potential for innovative ideas to come through, we're not being emotionally swayed by any aspects to the moon, which is really nice. It gives us a nice quietness, like I said, to just allow things to come through, just to listen. Today's a really beautiful day to just listen. It's a very introspective time on the last day before the new moon. This is a time to process, to integrate, and really just figure out where you are emotionally without the influence of other planets on the moon. So right now the moon is in Aquarius, but it's void. So a void moon happens when the moon has made its last connection to a planet and it's transiting through the end of a sign before it enters a new sign. So the moon is actually void until 1 p.m. today. And under a void moon, it said nothing significant will come from anything started during this time. This is a really long void moon too. It's been void since it connected with Saturn last night. So we have this huge lull of energy right now. This is a time to get quiet. And with the moon in Aquarius, it is allowing us to process, kind of detach emotionally a little bit and see a different perspective throughout the morning. Then the moon moves into Pisces at 1 p.m., but it doesn't make any connections for the rest of the day. However, the moon just being in Pisces does heighten our intuition. It allows us to be more sensitive. This is a nice slow adjustment period because the moon isn't making any connections. So we'll feel that subtle shift from that Aquarian energy to the Piscean energy when the moon moves at 1 p.m. or enters a new sign at 1 p.m. This will also amplify, goodness, our intuition and our psychic abilities because Pisces rules intuition, psychic sensitivity, things like that. So even though it's not making any connections, I really see the moon being so quiet all day as kind of an open channel, allowing us to just be open. We're not influenced emotionally by any other planets. We're just open to receive. And that's kind of the mindset or the intention that might be helpful for you today. In fact, on the top of every forecast on the spiritualjournalist.com, I write an affirmation of the day. So if you're someone who looks for inspiration or does daily journaling, that's always there for you. And the affirmation today is, I quiet my mind to allow my spirit to speak. I quiet my mind to allow my spirit to speak. There's a lot of Pisces energy in the skies today, and it's really allowing us to tap into our spirit, our higher self, our understanding of an energy or a power greater than ourself. Pisces is the most religious, spiritual sign. So we've talked a lot over the past couple of days about the craziness happening in the world with the moon in Pisces, specifically the new moon being in Pisces tomorrow. My hope is, at least, that we can all just lean into empathy, we can lean into compassion, and we can all lean into that universal love, which is also ruled by Pisces. And hopefully, if enough people are in that energy, we can all raise the vibration of the planet together and send that energy of love to the people who are caught in the middle of conflict right now, not just in Ukraine, but really everywhere in the world. We could all lean into this energy every day, right? But it's just that we're all seeing these images coming out of Ukraine that's making us very aware of the sadness and scarcity a lot of people are facing in the world. So I invite you to quiet your mind, tap into your spirit. Today would be a beautiful day for meditation because there's so much quietness with the moon. And really ask for messages if you're looking for them. Today could be a really beautiful day for downloads, insights to come through. So let's do a wrap up and then we will pull a card. We have a very interesting day in the forecast today. So in the background, Mars and Venus are still in a conjunction and they're forming a harmonious trine to the North Node today, supercharging our creative abilities. Anything started today could bring you closer to your destiny. This is a very creative energy, a very fertile energy, and a powerful, attractive energy. At the same time, the sun is forming a sextile to Uranus. This is allowing for breakthroughs or innovative ideas to come in. That is, if you allow yourself to quiet your mind enough to allow them. This aspect invites us to do things differently, think differently, allow the quirky sides of our personality to come out. We have to put in a little effort and be willing to try things in a new way in order to see the full potential of this sextile between the sun and Uranus. And today, the moon is not making any connections. It's void all morning until it enters Pisces at about 1 p.m. Pacific time, and then it doesn't make any connections for the rest of the night. So it's a really nice, quiet backdrop to allow us to integrate, to reflect, and really process anything that's come up in the past 2 weeks before tomorrow's new moon in Pisces. That's what's going on, and now let's pull a card. I'm going to pull from the Starseed Oracle today by Rebecca Campbell. Super excited, by the way, because her new deck just came out today. It should be here for me later today. I pre-ordered it. Her decks are the most beautiful and my absolute favorite, so I'm super excited to be able to do a card pull from the brand new deck with you guys, hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. So, as always, this is your time to ask questions. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know where Aquarius and Pisces fall in your chart. That's where the moon's going to be today. Especially Pisces. This is a great day to look at where Pisces is in your chart because we have a ton of Pisces activation. And a great little preview of what area of your life will be affected most by tomorrow's new moon. That's going to be in Pisces. So, let's see, what do we need to know today? Okay, well, this kind of popped out, so I'm just going to go with it. It says, Earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. Very on point already with everything we've been saying, to just slow down and integrate today under this very quiet moon. But let's see. Here we go. Earth pulsing. A mysterious pulse is woven through all of life. The planet itself has a rhythm. You can see it in the seasons and in the tides. In our world of artificial lighting, long working hours, and modern conveniences, it's easy for us to feel stuck and off kilter. It's time to reconnect with nature and surrender to the pulse of the earth. Earth pulsing is my favorite tool for surrendering to the rhythmic pulse of the mother and the entire universe. There's an earth pulsing meditation available at starseedoracle.me if you're interested. Today, many of us are disconnected from the land beneath us. Somewhere along the way, a severing happened, a moment when it became too painful to stay connected. We feel unsupported and as if we don't belong. We look to other people and the external world to fill the void of the connection, holding and belonging once given to us by the earth. Taking, clutching, conquering, longing for others to receive us fully as the mother once did, forgetting that she's still here, waiting for us to remember and activate the part of us that longs to receive her embrace. When you consciously connect with the earth, a veil is lifted and she opens up and receives you more fully. You're able to drink from her sweet waters and release what no longer serves you. Stagnant energy falls away and you become connected to all things on the planet. How beautiful. I love this card so much. So perfect for today. Just inviting us to connect with Earth, connect with Mother Nature, connect with a power greater than ourselves. Even if you're not a super spiritual person, the Earth is a power greater than ourselves, right? The Earth has its own magnetic field, its own vibration, its own ecosystem constantly working to support us and literally give us life. So if you're feeling a little lost, if you need some time to process things, as we just talked about, today is a beautiful day to do so. But this part invites us to do so in nature. Even if you can just get outside for 10 minutes today, allow the sun to hit your skin, take a quiet moment to integrate and process. That's the assignment today. So beautiful day to do so before tomorrow's new moon as well. Kind of get any loose ends tied up. I would, if you can, wait until after 1 p.m. just because the moon will be in Pisces, allowing us to really bring through any information or tap into a meditative state more easily when the moon is in Pisces. And, also that sextile between the sun and Uranus is happening later today. So meditation in nature would be a really beautiful tool today as well, really aligning with the transits. If you can just quiet your mind, like I said, 5-10 minutes, that could be enough for a zing of inspiration or a brilliant download to come through. Oh, you're already outside. You're already aligned. Yesterday, I went outside right before sunset and just sat in the sun, and I was like, I am not doing this enough. So thank you for that encouragement. It's going to be my new daily goal to just be outside, to receive light on my skin, to receive inspiration that comes through, and to give my brain that's always going, to give it a little break. I think all of us are, we live in a very overstimulated, hyperstimulated world. So having time in nature to just slow down and just be is so necessary for all of us. So remember, the earth is pulsing. The earth is there to give you energy. It has a rhythm of its own that you can tap into at any time to feel supported. Yes, you're so right, Bailey. Yesterday, I was working all day. I was kind of in a funk, and literally 10, 15 minutes outside. When I came back, as the sun was starting to go down, I was like, I have energy. I have like a little pep in my step, a little zing, So it's really true. You can feel it. It's a huge mental health boost. If you're someone who struggles with anxiety, depression, I promise you, if you spend 10 minutes outside in the sun every day, you will notice a huge difference. I've noticed it for my own life. That's the assignment today. Get outside, be open to receiving, and quiet your mind. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me this morning to walk through the energy of the day. This afternoon at 1:11 p.m., we have our next episode of The Spiritual Journalist, and it's going to be all about Ukraine. This is a conflict I actually studied in college, and the professor I took a course from used to report and live in Ukraine. Her name is Katya Sengel. You can go to The Spiritual Journalist on Instagram to get a little idea of what today's episode is going to be about. It's also up and ready to go for you on thespiritualjournalist.com/join the conversation. And on that page as well, I've started a list of resources if you're feeling called to donate or learn more about the situation from people who are actually in Ukraine. But if this is a topic that interests you, or if you are hoping to learn more, gain some clarity about the situation there, the history of the region that's kind of led up to this point, I encourage you to join us live. Again, it's at 1:11 p.m. right here, wherever you're watching. And bring your questions, bring an open mind. Really, I love the power of stories. That's why I became a journalist. And Katya's story is really powerful, and I'm excited for her to share her personal experience with the people in Ukraine. She reported there about a decade ago, but this is really when Ukraine was trying to form a free press, and for the past 20 years or so, they've been really trying to declare a democracy and break away from Russia. So what's happening there now is kind of a pinnacle point in this tension. So anyway, we'll be talking through her experience, and it's going to be a really great conversation if you're feeling open to learning more about what's going on in Ukraine, or if you just like to help out. Again, I've provided some links over on thespiritualjournalist.com/join the conversation. Just click on the episode about Ukraine. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. I hope to see you right back here at 1:11 p.m. for our next episode of The Spiritual Journalist. But whenever I see you next, I hope you have a beautiful time between now and then, and I hope you stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.